Hello 108 class, Mr. McHugh back here with you on section 7.4. Going to tackle page 3 and we're going to tackle some more rational equations with those rational expressions inside them, and a couple of these. This next problem, example number 4, looks like a doozy. And what I mean by that is look at the denominators. Holy moly. P squared plus P minus 2. You get the idea. Now, you first look at these things and you're like, I'm supposed to solve this, but take your time. First thing you need to do is you're supposed to find those restrictions, but before you find those restrictions, what sticks out like a sore thumb? Okay, I'm hoping you're seeing from here to here. What did I do? That's right, factoring. Right? I factored p squared minus 1, difference of squares. The 2, I put I reverse FOILed on the trinomials, and I listed the denominators in factored form. That means there's multiplication going on. No addition or subtraction. Okay, now with that said, you should turn around and figure out the restrictions here. So you can see up step 1/2, I kind of snuck that in. So you guys are getting comfortable with this. As you know, you take each of these parentheses, set them equal to 0. You know what the shortcut here is. You've seen it probably. Take the opposite sign, so p cannot equal -2. Check. P cannot equal +1. Check. P cannot equal -1. Check. And we got them all. Okay, so there's the restrictions. Don't forget that. Now we got to turn around and figure out what's the next big step. Okay, I'm hoping you're saying determine the LCD, because you need to multiply by that LCD and quote clear out the fraction, aka RE. Okay, now watch this technique. These problems are starting to get long. Now every denominator, all factors in each of the denominators must be in the LCD. So here we go, p plus 2. Here's my LCD determination. Is it in here? Check. P minus 1. Check. P plus 1. Check. 2. Check. And I've already had these. So here's my LCD. Let me put a big box around this guy, make him stand out. Okay, now what you need to do is, you can see I put a bracket here. You need to multiply every rational expression, every term, by this fairly lengthy LCD. Now you could take the time and take the LCD and stick it in here, stick it in here, and stick it in here if you like. Okay. Now a technique I'm going to show you is to you're going to do the distributive property, but you're going to do it kind of pseudo-mentally in your head, but you're going to use a little aid or a technique. I'm going to show it to you. You do this on a whiteboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to green mode, and I'm going to take the first rational expression. I'm going to look at the denominators. I know that's supposed to be cleared out because I'm multiplying by the LCD. So p plus 2, I cross it out. I cross it out, and over in the LCD, I find p plus 2 and I cross it out. I find p minus 1, and I find p minus 1 and I cross it out. Okay, now I've done that. What's left standing? I need the 3 comes down, and p plus 1 and the 2 from the LCD factors come down with it. Okay, now I'm just listing things. Don't worry about combining anything yet. Okay, is everybody comfortable with that? Okay. Now let's do it again. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this erase feature. Check this out, class. This technology is just amazing. And I'm going to go to blue mode, and I'm going to come down here and look at the second RE, and now distribute and cancel out the second fraction here. So here we go. P plus 1 is in the denominator. I find it. Why did I get rid of that? Hold on. This is p minus 1. So let me put the strikes up here. P minus. Hold on. Having a little technical difficulty here. Okay. P plus 1, P plus 1. I'm crossing that out. P minus 1 and P minus 1. I'm crossing it out. Okay, who's left standing? This is a plus. I'm not sure why that erased. I mean, I got too crazy. P plus 2 and a 2 are left standing, so I brought those down, and I brought the -1 down. Okay, is everybody comfortable with what I got there? Okay. Now we got one more step, so let me pick, I don't know. Let's try Yeah, what do you think? Pink. Let's try pink. We'll go crazy here. Okay, now I'm going to hit some erasing. Now, so this idea will save you a lot of writing here if you... Now, you don't have fancy stuff like this, but you could use the old pencil eraser on your homework. Okay, now, all factors in the denominator. Oh. Okay. The 2, I gotta be careful what I'm doing there. And the 2 cancel out. P plus 2, P plus 2 cancel out. P plus 1 cancels out. P plus 1 cancels out. Who's left standing? 7 and what? P minus 1, and I wrote them down there. Okay. So we now have multiplied by the LCD and cleared out the fractions, and I'm left with this result right here. Okay, now we got a little bit of work here, but as long as you've accurately listed who was left standing, you should be okay. I would look at this first term. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times p is 6p. 6 times 1 is 6. That's where those came from. Over here, you're taking negative 1 times 2 is a negative 2, so negative 2 times p is negative 2p. Negative 2 times a positive 2 will be a negative 4. Okay, here's 7p minus 7. I did the distributive property, and I don't know, I've been teaching this here, and oh, that's a 1. That's a 1. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this is a 1 right here. This is a 1 class. Sorry, it's p plus 1. So 2 times 1 is negative 2 times 1. This should be a 1 here. Okay. So now I got my 2 here. Okay, I gotta check this out. What's the minus signs here? Sorry, I'm just I don't know if I got myself hung up here or it's just me. So okay, I'll keep working here now. So you're combining like terms. 6p minus 2p is 4p. Here is 6. I might have made a double mistake here or something. It looked like I took 6 minus 4 and got a 2. Okay. Now 7p minus 7, I wrote it down. Now I combined like terms. Here's 4p. I minus 4p on both sides. If I knew the p was going to be on the right hand side, I minus 7. I added 7, sorry. Added 7 to both sides, 2 for 1 special, and I'm left with 9 equals 3p. Divide by 3 on both sides, and lo and behold, p equals 3. Okay. Now you've done that and you've worked hard. Is that okay to have? Your restrictions were p could not equal negative 2, negative 1, or 1, so you're okay. You know, you're not messing with any of the restrictions and you're on your way. Okay, so I'm sorry about up here. Just check this with me. I think I'm okay. I think I talked myself into a jam here, so I'm going to keep on going here. Key thing is this technique hasn't changed from what we did before. Determine the LCD. Multiply it across each term, and you will see the denominator factors cancel out every time. Write down what's left standing. Be careful with your details of pluses and minus signs, and then do your algebra solving techniques to get your answer. Okay, let's look at example 5 here. This one's not quite as taxing. I look at the denominators, and I've got 3x plus 1. If I set that equal, find out what the restriction for that is. X cannot equal negative 1/3 when you solve it. X cannot equal 0, and that's the restrictions. Okay, now the good news is I need to figure out the LCD. So 3x plus 1 needs to be a factor, and x needs to be a factor, so I got them listed. And remember, when you see the same factor listed twice, it's a tiebreaker. You only have to list it once. So now you're going to go ahead, and this time I decided to write it out. It wasn't so bulky. I took the LCD, multiplied it by each term. Here's the LCDs. And maybe this is the way to go to take a little extra time. I don't know. It just depends. Good news is I start with the denominator. I see The factor 3x plus 1 cancels out with 3x plus 1 in the numerator. I'm left with 2 times x, 2x. X cancels out. X cancels out. I'm left with 1 times 3x plus 1. And don't forget, here's your equal sign here. Okay, finally, what's that? Minus 3x plus 1 cancels out with 3x plus 1. I've got x times negative 6x for negative 6x squared. Okay, now, as soon as you see that 6x squared, what pops up in your brain? What are you dealing with? Okay, you see my notes, quadratic equation. Now, what do you do? So that's your trigger onto you to solve. Move all the terms over to the one side and set it equal to 0. Good news is when I add 6x squared to both sides, I get a positive. That's crucial. You want a positive a here. And so I got 6x squared plus 2x. I minus 3x on both sides. This one here, I added 6x squared, squeeze it in. I'm left with this result, 6x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 1. Now you're kind of in duck soup here. Combine like terms. 2x minus 3x is a negative 1. And I reverse FOILed, found my factors, set them equal to 0. And found out that my solutions are proposed solutions are x equals negative 1/3, x equals 1/2, and before I put those in the math lab, what do I have to do? Check for restrictions, don't forget. And what did we find out? X could not equal what? Negative 1/3, so this guy is out. You drop them like a hot potato, you're left with x equals 1/2 for your solution. Okay, Mr. McHugh, that was a little long to get through that. Apologize about that little mumbo jumbo, but I think you guys are okay following that one. Okay, Mr. McHugh, I'm going to sign off here. We have checking out on page 3. We got one more to do for this section, so I will see you for some graphing on page 4. Okay, goodbye.